Hey, and welcome to the first online live event from Belonging Community Church here at the BCC online campus. I'm so excited for what God has been doing in the life of our team and what He is going to do through this church that will begin to meet in person in October. Now, as we lead up to that time of our grand opening, I want you to have a place where you can discover even now that you have a place of belonging and purpose in the story of God. And so I thought, why not have some short times together for a belonging brief? A brief time that we can look to Jesus and focus on the word belonging and what that means in God's story. And why belonging? Well, first, we are Belonging Community Church, so understanding what God says about belonging is important to us. But also, I know we maybe have just met, but there's something that I know you and I have in common, and it's this. We both want to be loved and know that we belong. And sometimes when we are dealing with the things in our life that just seem like maybe a hot mess, right? We wonder if anyone would truly love us or want to say we belong to them. And the good news is that during these short moments, these brief moments together, that we will have up until our launch of Sundays at Sugarloaf Elementary in October, we can look at what the Bible has to say about you and about me and what God thinks about calling us into belonging just as we are. Now, this week, I want to simply share with you a passage from the book of Isaiah. Isaiah was a prophet, and we can find his ancient writings in the Old Testament of the Bible, and he wrote prophetically. He wrote prophetically to speak to the people of Israel, and he also wrote prophetically about Jesus long before his arrival. In chapter 43 of the book of Isaiah, we read the words of God through the writing of Isaiah. It says, "But now, O Jacob, listen to the Lord who created you. O Israel, the one who formed you says, do not be afraid, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. And when you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. And when you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you, for I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior." Now, just like the people of Israel, when you and I are in the middle of a mess in our life, whatever that is, if it's work, school, family, finances, health, loss, grief, fear, we often think we are alone. We're the one and only. And if anyone truly knew what was going on in our lives or within us, they would not want to have anything to do with us. But God, He says differently. He says, if you call on Him, you are redeemed. And no matter what difficulties or oppressions or pain you are in, He is your Savior. He calls you by name, just as you are. And He says you belong. You are His. And we often look around, right, at what we can see externally in the lives of those around us and perceive that everybody else has it all together. And so we quietly work at fixing what's going on in our life all on our own. And we think if we just do one thing differently or try a little harder or ignore the problem entirely, it will all go away and no one will have to know. And so I want to invite you to try something different, because doing that over and over doesn't get a different result, right? When you and I are facing troubles or in the mess of our own life, I want to invite you into something different. Rather than isolating or pretending, try surrendering and find connection. Surrender to God, the one who knows you fully and calls you by name and wants to invite you into his story right now. And secondly, find a community of people trying to do the same thing along with you. You could even join in with our community here at Belonging Community Church and discover you have a place of belonging right here, right now, in the story of God. Learn you are not alone, even if everything around you seems to be a hot mess. Help us know how to pray for you and support you, and join with us in community as we lead to our in-person Sundays at Sugarloaf in Urbana in just a few months. You could do that by heading to bit.ly/BCC Partner Connect, because we want to partner with you and help you take a step toward following Jesus along with us. You are not alone and have a place of belonging in God's story, and he calls you redeemed. Now, as we close and take time to hear from you on your Partner Connect online form, letting us know how we can be praying for you, or that you're choosing to surrender today to Jesus, or that you just want to connect with community, I want to say thank you to those of you who are already partnering with us, whether it's by serving or financially. Your generosity is what is creating a church where people discover they have a place of purpose in God's story. If you haven't joined in on that yet, on that partnership, and you want to take a step forward in faith to trust God with what he has given to you, I invite you to be a financial partner with us as well. If you want to do that, to help support the physical launch of Belonging Community Church, you can do that right online by scanning the QR code here on the screen or heading to belongingcc.com/givebcc. All right, everyone, I look forward to joining with you next week for our next Belonging Brief.